Hello, Dr. Adler. This is part 3 of the final. On this one, it was about e-waste. It was also about carbon footprint and then the population growth. So I like to start with e-waste. E-waste is just electronic devices that are trash, that people dispose of, that they're not using no more. They throw them in the trash can, or however they get rid of it. Now the problem with e-waste is that in an electronic device, you have things like gold or silver, things that are considered precious metals, and it will also have something like mercury, something very dangerous. And the whole thing is, how do you get dispose of it? Well, one way is through to refurbish items and to recycle it and find a way to do it in an efficient way. Many times companies like Apple, they have a priority where you can't really just fix it without them risking of breaking the device, or you need a certain the software doesn't allow you really to do it. And so that's something that there needs to be some kind of laws that kind of prevents these people doing it. And a lot of these devices, they need to be universal, meaning the same thing to charge an iPhone is got to be the same thing to charge a Samsung phone or any phone, whatever. So there needs to be a lot of the peripherals need to be universal. They can't be having just different types, and it's kind of annoying. So they need, finally you can, with Apple, they use the same thing as Android phones. Now, another thing about e-waste is that a lot of these companies need to get fined and get fined heavier. And another thing is that when we allow third-party places to fix these devices last longer. Sometimes these people break their devices and they have to buy a whole new phone, new device. But if you have it somewhere third party can do it, and you make these kind of laws to prevent Apple and these other companies to not have such a stronghold on their devices, well, instead of getting a brand new phone, maybe they'll just go to the local store, fix it, the third party store, fix it, and there you go, and it's cheaper, and they keep it longer, put a new battery. Because even it's not just the software, but it's even the hardware, the way they glue it, everything about it makes it more difficult. The next thing is also that goes with the e-waste is the carbon footprint. On my thing, I had about like 2.5 or 3 Earths use of to sustain my lifestyle. And another thing was I was showing that I could be more efficient in my lifestyle and be more carbon to reduce my carbon footprint. And there's just many ways to go about it. For example, with traveling, how do we travel? Focus more on electronic devices to help travel. Now they have electronic bikes and many things of that nature to make it easier. You don't always need to be using gas or anything like that. And also use solar panel. And then the last thing we were working on was the development of different places. So for us, it was Nigeria, Japan, and America. And you guys see that when a country has like a triangle shape on their graph of their population growth and the death rate and everything, it tends to be a lesser developed country. Whereas when it's more boxy, then it tends to be more developed. And this results in the age of women and men kind of just going up. The death rates going down, but also the birth rates go down as well. And then when I did the simulation, the population went down heavily. Now, in an underdeveloped country, that's a little bit different story. They tend to have more younger people, or more spread out. And a lot of it, they don't have too much old people. They have a lot of birth rates, so they give they tend to have more kids. So in Nigeria, one was about four kids, whereas in America one, it was actually going down to less than 2. And same thing with Japan. Japan was pretty low. So the population growth for the less developed countries, it tends to be high because people tend to compensate for it. When you lose your children, tend to have replace it with more children. So instead of normally having 1 or 2, you're probably gonna have 4 or 5, just to make sure, just in case you lose a child. And that's the third part for my final. Thank you, Dr. Adler.